machine, baby, cause this one's a screamer. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Hello, entertainers. So today I'm coming to you guys with another video. So I plan on you guys for this channel talking a lot more about worldly news that's really been going on. Have any of y'all really felt like this year? I feel like I was rushed into the new year. Like I feel like somebody was packing my bag. It was like, hey, you gotta go. Let's go. Like, can I get it like an extra day? Can I get like an extra week so I could really like decompress and like, you feel me? And this is for really the girls that work, you know, corporate and still pursuing their dreams. I feel like I was rushed into the new year and it's not fair. I feel cheated out of it. I feel finessed and I need another day and I need another week at that. Okay. First thing we're going to get into, you guys, is Waka Flocka. Waka Flocka recently posted about allegedly him getting jumped. Now, the reason why I'm laughing, Discord posted this late last night into my Discord. So I'm like, wait, I thought that nigga was Erykah Badu. I'm like, oh my God, Erykah Badu is deep in the voodoo. Child, it was Waka Flocka. I said, Erykah Badu is turning masculine. She growing beards and she deep into the voodoo. Child, it was Waka. When I tell y'all I was screaming last night, we was keying so much into Discord because it's like, I really thought that was Erykah Badu. Like, I don't know what, for some reason, it was late that night. And I looked at my phone. I'm like, oh my God, like, y'all, why y'all sending me this in the middle of the night? Now, he posted this and said he got jumped by 10 niggas, but then took it back.
Crazy y'all nigga believe that shit. Crazy y'all nigga believe that shit.
Either way, something happened. Okay, he said, can't believe nobody helped me fight 10 niggas off, but I'm standing 10 toes, marks. Okay, what Cash Mama said, ain't no Marquietas, cuz. Okay, Walker said he not a Marquieta. My whole thing is, why post up to allude to something if it didn't happen? Now we really gonna believe you did get jumped by 10 niggas. Who really gives a crap though, if we really want to be honest? Okay, Walker, you low-key do deserve to get jumped by 10 niggas because you low-key's a coon, okay? The real Kuntasa is Waka, if we really want to be honest. Now, Mia and Ink from Potomac have broken up and split. They both have unfollowed each other on the gram. And then also, she posted a picture with Gordon going into the new year, talking about new beginnings. I am very sick of Mia. I'm sorry. Mia at this point is tiring. What do you want? What do you want? It's like every other day, she's either with Ink, and the day later she break up with Ink, go with Gordon. One day Gordon abusive, he's mentally abusive, etc. You back up with Gordon. You break up with Gordon, you say Ink is forever. Like I don't get Mia at all. I don't, and I feel like Bravo needs to wash their hands of her or demote her as a friend, because I don't find a lot of stuff she says not believable. Because if he was such this horrible person, how could you easily get back with him? Even though y'all have children together, don't get me wrong, you painted him out to be this monster and this unstable person. I don't get Mia. I don't get her. I feel like she has lied about a lot. And I feel like Bravo has let her get away with it because it's one of the more interesting things that is going on in that show, because she's a hot mess. I really feel like Ink is starting to see some of these recent episodes roll out, and he's not liking it. When I tell y'all, when that daughter, that poor bit, I'm not talking about kids, y'all, okay? I'm talking about what the daughter said. Her kids are beautiful. When the daughter said, you and Mr. Ink can't get married, I said, oh. When I tell that broke my heart into a million pieces. I said, oh my God, like, Mia, you is fucked up for that. Like, you brought this man all around your kids. It's some, like, this is why I'm not a believer now. I feel like you really should bring niggas around your kids and take y'all serious for real, because it's like, wow. she was adamant. She said, "You're gonna have to work it out with dad. You're not marrying Mr. Ink." I said, "Oh my God." All caught on camera. I still don't agree with them being on TV, but that's just my opinion, right? So after seeing that, I feel like Ink has felt a way about some of the scenes that have played out on the show, and it has kind of disturbed his spirit, and he's not a fan of how he's being portrayed as like this homewrecker. Okay, niggas could be homewreckers too. Now you wrecked a fucked up home, but you still wrecked it. You know what I'm saying? You still was a wrecker. So I think that's why he's parted ways. Plus, I feel like when it comes to him and his brand and him being a radio personality, it's not doing him any a DJ in Miami of Voice. He's a DJ. Him being a DJ, it's not making him look good. Because now he's just coming across as like this reality star who's in drama, you know, in the middle of mess. Sometimes on the blogs for relationship stuff. I don't think he likes that. I don't think it does anything good for him in regards to his career and how he looks. So I do think this is the best move. Do I think it's the best move for her to just hop back in and get back with Gordon? No. Both of them need deep therapy with each other and separately. Mia is the type to just go to one relationship to the next just so that way she could feel better and not feel lonely. It's like, no. Just because you not back with Mr. Ink, you know what I'm saying? Don't mean you got to hop back with Mr. Gordon. All right? Because how dare you really pull a wool over our eyes all these seasons acting as if you and Gordon were like the perfect people. And then all of a sudden, he just one day started going broke and he was abusive. Like, that's why with some reality shows, I just don't get some of the characters because we don't get no hints or nothing. We just get like out of nowhere. It's just everything just was bad. Like Erica from Beverly Hills, for example. All of a sudden, he was forgetting things and was treating you like shit, and nobody knew, even your closest friends. Mia said in a post, "Ink is my best friend and perfect in so many ways. But I have decided to focus on my children and maintaining a healthy co-parenting relationship with their father." Mia said in a statement to the Shade Room. Why couldn't you get this exclusive to Bravo? No shade to the Shade Room, right? But it's like, really? To the Shade Room? You work for Bravo. At least keep it exclusive to Bravo. Y'all trying to keep us locked into the end of the season, ain't ya? So you run up to the Shade Room. You better off going to the neighborhood talk, okay? Referring to her estranged husband, Gordon Thornton, and their children, Jeremiah and Juju. Mia also has a son named Joshua from a previous relationship, okay? Mia followed up the announcement about her split from Ink by posting a selfie with Gordon. In the caption, she seemed to hint at a better co-parenting relationship with her estranged spouse. New Year's, new beginnings. She captioned the cozy picture. Cheers to living life to the fullest. Okay. I will say, I remember when I did that Watch What Happens live. Mind you, let me tell you all about that. I can't talk in deep detail about like how it happened. But the two guests that were there were Mia and this lady from The Big Bang Theory. Bitch, when I tell y'all, when my question didn't get answered, I wanted to ask Mia a question, but I got so like, I gagged a little bit because I didn't think that my question couldn't have got answered, which I can't go into detail as to. Anyways, so but I wanted to ask Mia about a certain question, but I don't know what happened. It's like I froze. I was like, bye, because it's like when she was just like, oh, I can't answer that. The lady from The Big Bang Theory. I was gonna ask me either a question about Wendy, a question about Ink, a question about Gordon. I had questions like line up, but I literally got spooked. Okay, I literally got spooked after that happened. I will say though that I'm happy with this outcome because of the kids, just in general, because I feel like a lot of the stuff that went on between Ink and her confused the kids a lot. So it's kind of like a positive that I feel like this is happening. Okay. Now, influencers, y'all, are to the point where those influencer relationships, there is no longer that fantasy. Y'all remember the heydays when influencer relationships were the fantasy? We had Damien and Bianca, De'Ara, okay, and Ken. We either had the Milans. Let me stop. Don't come for me, the Milans. Like, you feel me? Like, we had some people that we looked up to as like relationship couple goals. But now I just feel like a lot of those fantasies are now over with. With the overtaking of social media, with all these other platforms that have been created, it's just exposed to a lot of the fakeness and a lot of the dirtiness that has been happening behind some of these couples behind the scenes. So De'Ara, you guys, De'Ara and Ken were one of the couples that I used to think were like the cutest couple like ever. Like they literally to me was like the black Barbie and Ken. Like she was always dolled up to the T. He was so quiet and he was so like soft spoken, but you know he probably was fucking her good. Like they were just like they were like the it couple. I remember the heydays. This is the Aaliyah J heydays. Those days are over. Okay. Now it looks as if it's going the legal route. They said neighbors get into this. Influencer De'Ara Taylor is suing her ex-boyfriend and fellow influencer Ken Walker for theft and embezzlement. Embezzle is crazy. Okay? When somebody sue you for embezzlement, that's like calling you a fraud. That's like calling you a liar. When you embezzle, that's what you basically are. Okay? According to the lawsuit, De'Ara claims that Ken unlawfully took money out of their joint account after they had already settled how they were going to split the funds. Them couples' YouTube channels, my advice, don't do it. I've been always an avid believer in this. I don't think it's a good money move. I don't think it's a good business move. I don't think it's a good personal move. Because if it don't work out, y'all gonna be fighting who gets it. Y'all gonna be fighting who gets the coins off of the channel. I have never been a believer in that. Y'all remember when they got engaged in like Greece and everything? Like it's really sad when you really think about it. Like, ooh, it's really sad. Let's continue, y'all. They said in the lawsuit, De'Ara explained how they started LLC for their brand as a couple and had accumulated thousands of dollars over time from their YouTube channel and brand deals. All of this came crashing down when Kim kept getting caught in cheating scandals. I remember the day that he got caught cheating or was exposed for cheating. Oh my God. The internet had them niggas trending for like 2 days straight. All they kept saying was, "Oh my God, how could Ken do this?" And it was the most basic of the bitch. Like, I'll never forgive him for that. I will say that. Like, basic of a bitch. Not a bitch that turned into a lesbian. Like, it's like you traumatized her. You know what I'm saying? Basic. It would be so if she was like a bad bitch. That girl wasn't even bad. Like, oh my God. Anyways, he was what we call, he was the older DDG. Like, this is DDG before DDG. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, y'all get what I mean. Like, before DDG was known as like a celebrity, not as a YouTuber, because, you know, DDG been doing YouTube. All right, so they said all of this came crashing down when Ken kept getting caught in cheating scandals, which led up to the breakup in 2021. At the time, they had contacted a business lawyer to help them split the money because De'Ara felt like she deserved more, because during the rough patch of the relationship, she continued to make content, but Ken didn't. She also would put her personal brand deal money in their joint account in good faith. They agreed to keep the YouTube channel and allowed $80K to be kept in the account for business purposes. De'Ara could pay the trunk off and keep it, and then they would split the $40K loan when they got on it when it was returned. Well, almost a year later, De'Ara checked the account and discovered almost all the money was gone. Oh my God. When she reached out to Ken, he allegedly admitted that he had taken the money for medical bills. De'Ara calls BS on this though, claiming that the money had been taken out before any medical bills were accumulated. In the lawsuit, she notes that they each received about $200K from a buyout of a joint property they had, so he shouldn't have been hurting for cash. She also discovered that the $40K had been returned, but she didn't receive her cut from it. So they decided to end the couple's channel, and Ken allegedly agreed to pay back the money. Well, he allegedly never paid it back and claimed that he's broke and he now has to live with his mother. De'Ara claims these are lies because he continues to flex on social media. Now he wants him to pay for all the money he allegedly stole on top of the business taxes he's been allegedly ducking, and she's had to pay on his behalf. Put the YouTube channel aside, I've never been a fan of couples doing business stuff together. I just feel like it gets so tricky, especially when it doesn't work out. It's so good just to keep finances separate and just to keep business stuff separate. That's just how I feel. I feel like they both should have just from the beginning had their own separate channels and appeared in each channel on both. But that would have never worked because y'all got to understand around that time frame, that's when couples channels were like popping. We looked forward to the pranks. We looked forward to the vlogs. We looked forward to the reveal videos. Like we looked forward to the thumbnails with the. Now those days are gone. So it's like they had to do what they had to do now then because it would never work now. And I will say, I do agree with De'Ara with this. I remember watching their channel faithfully, and it seemed like she put in a lot of work in their channel. Meticulous work at that. Especially around the time of when we started to suspect some. He seemed a little bit more withdrawn and barely appeared. So she's not lying because there's video evidence factually backing this up. Now, the part with him living with his mom, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Now, he did take some time to go on the gram and really address this whole situation and responded back to the whole post and lawsuit.
Let's go ahead and address this really quickly. First of all, good morning. It's too early for this. But anyway, let's go ahead and address a couple things. Number one, the $40,000 regarding the car. Came to the end agreement after we had a number of conversations about it. You keep the car. We break even on the loan. The car's valued like $43,000. The loan was $40,000. We break even. Boom. Never heard about it since. You got a bill of sale. You got the title to the car, everything. Cool. That was it. Regarding the bank account, again, extensive text messages regarding this. We had a phone call after all our conversations, December 12th at 4 p.m. I think in 2022 this was. Again, this is in text messages. We had a number of conversations on it. People on your team said, hey, you follow this personal income, pay the taxes on it. Cool. Never talked about it since. Everything else, Snapchat, the YouTube videos, whatever. It's like, I thought we moved past this years ago. Let's go ahead and address this.
The way that he's smirking, looking left and right, I feel like he's so cap. Like, you never address you taking the money, though. That's what we need to know. Did you take the money out the cap? Because if you did, you all were. Okay? And a lot of people don't realize, like, when you do couples channels, because a lot of people, I've been like studying YouTube for like years. People that do couples channels that go into solo channels, some of them do well, but the ones that do bad do really bad. Like they don't get some of the same engagement. Some of their following ends up picking the other side of the couple after they break up and don't really follow them. So it could end up really bad for people that end up, going solo. So a lot of people don't know that's what happens when these couples channels break up because the money probably isn't really the same that it used to be. All in all, these two are not like bad people. So it's like, I would hate for any of those two to be in like financial ruins over a relationship that we all at one point, look up to. This is why I never believe in like couples like buying houses that are not married, buying like homes, cars, and all. Because you get stuff like this, okay? Stuff is not written in an agreement to where, something were to happen. This person gets this person gets that. I feel like there needs to be prenups for people that aren't married. Like they shouldn't even call it a prenup no more. Pre-breakup. You know what I'm saying? It's a document that both parties have to view after a breakup. Okay, when both parties have decided to part ways, a pre-breakup document will detail all of the terms and conditions of the breakup and what it will entail to personal property, investments, items, dogs, cats, pets, etc. You came with something new. I'm telling y'all, a pre-breakup. All right, so I don't want to spend too much time on this whole situation. This whole New Orleans situation is just, one, is traumatizing, and two, it further proves why certain spaces I don't even want to go, especially if it's gonna be a big thing or a big sort of like attraction. It scares me sometimes to even go because of this story. Like, you think you just said, mind you, it's not like they were at New York somewhere in the ball watching the ball drop. This is just a popular place that people go to for holidays, and you end up losing your life. Like those videos that I saw on Twitter with the people on the floor, I'm talking about limbs on opposite side of their body. Like, we shouldn't be seeing stuff like this online, but we are. It's disgusting. We're being desensitized when it comes to some of the stuff that we're seeing nowadays. And it's really just sad. The fact that media tries to spin it to where it's made into this narrative when this man was an American citizen, it's kind of insane to me too at that. I'm glad, in my opinion, he's not alive because he doesn't deserve to be. None of these other people are, so he shouldn't be either. I also feel like New Orleans as a city needs to be held a little bit accountable because for him to do something like this on such a busy night and them not having more of a patrolled security to be able to prevent something like this from happening to me is reckless. It doesn't make sense. New Orleans has been a city where a lot has happened. That in itself needs to have a high level of security in itself. And it's like they refuse to take that route. The whole situation in itself is really, really sad to watch. It's sad to hear about. I hate seeing that they're interviewing friends that were there right after it even happened, having them put cameras in their face with a mic, asking them what happened. That video of that boy talking about, his friend didn't make it in that car. That video was sad as hell to watch. The whole situation itself is sad. Not even hours later, we get another attack. And then hours later, we get another attack in New York. I really feel like we're low-key in the end of times, but we're like in the beginning of it. We're like in the very beginning of the end of times, and it's coming. It really is. Let me know what you guys think about that whole situation. So shout out to Royce Reed. If y'all wonder whose side are you on with this Royce and Dwight situation, I'm Team Royce. I've been an OG basketball wives watcher since Miami came out, and I've always liked Royce. She's funny, she's witty, and to me, she always stood out to me because she would say things that the other girls were scared to say. She was the first one to really clock Evelyn's tea. I have always believed everything that she has said because she's been honest about who she is, and she's never refrained from it. That's what I like about Royce. And we're going to always remember her for the iconic. That gift when she was fishing bitches. Like, come on now. Now, before 2025 started, she literally told it all. A lot of you guys are probably wondering why she just randomly saying stuff. He has been constantly messing with her up until this day, legally and personally. So she got to the point where she snapped. People are just seeing the fact that he's now with Amy. By the way, Amy, you a different type of bitch. Something about that girl don't hit me right. Something about that lady is off. Very off. That last season of Love and Hip Hop, you could tell she likes attention. So I feel like she's using him more than he's using her. I feel like he's low-key probably in love with the pussy. But, it ain't pussy. It's something you're used to, right? I feel like she's using the heck out of him. It's for like show, it's for storyline, And that's what I feel like all boils down to. People are seeing her tell her story and they're just thinking, oh, it's because she's jealous of that new relationship. Don't you think he's probably been with other women before that she would have went on this rampage? Now, she went on TikTok, and this to me is a version of who the fuck did I marry? But instead, who the fuck I got knocked up by Royce Reed. Okay. She even has done at one point an interview with Carlos King where she literally insinuated a lot of the details that she talks about in the story. This girl knows how to tell a story. I love people that can sit down, literally talk for like hours, 30 minutes to hours to tell you and paint a whole picture and it really come to life because the stories that she was telling throughout these TikToks, I believe 100%. That doesn't sound made up. You can tell she has nervous tics while she's talking about them because of the trauma that it brings her. I just believe her 100%. She posted these stories on the 31st of December, right before going into the new year. I guess this was her way of sort of washing out the old and coming into the new. Now, he's refuted a lot of these claims, has been on interviews lately talking about, he gives her this amount of money monthly towards child support. So why is she complaining? Why is she talking? Et cetera, et cetera.
It's Royce. And due to a lot of recent occurrences that include lies, fabrications, false accusations, threats, etc., I realized that it's about that time for me to tell my story from the beginning to now. Unfortunately, someone keeps calling my bluff. And when you're an ant fighting an elephant, the only way to eat an elephant is bite by bite. Therefore, I want to let you know that I am a true Cancer zodiac. I told you to leave me alone. I told you not to fuck with me, yet you still do. So, because of that, I am not Michelle Obama. When they take it low, I do not take it high. I take it to hell. And now, you're going to get what you asked for. I had a baby by Superman, and here's his fucking kryptonite.
Didn't I tell y'all this Gibby? Who the fuck did I marry? Okay. You better hit the lady who did I marry, get some tips in regards to advertising so you can get you a book deal, TV deal, all that. Okay. By the way, I've been wanting Royce back on Basketball Wives. I know it's not gonna happen because they canceled Orlando. Sorry, Megan. This y'all don't give a fuck. Let me stop. But you feel me? Like they canceled Orlando, so we're not getting that back. And then LA is like, it would make any sense for her to be on there or whatever. So I know that's never gonna happen.
Hey, y'all. I'm Royce. I'm a little under the weather, but I'm going to get this out. So, this is my story about how my life changed beginning July 31st, 2004 to now. All because I had a baby by Superman. Part 1. July 31st, 2004, I was at the movies at Downtown Disney with two of my friends. When three male figures walk in, one looking to be about an inch away from being a midget, the other very skinny and he had a bad acne problem, and another one who is extremely tall. As they come over to the concession stand, we are greeted with, "Y'all in my book." Our response was, "What book?" He goes, "My yearbook." I then respond, "No, sweetie, I'm grown." He goes, "No, my magic book. Y'all used to dance with the magic." Oh, yes, yes. He's like, "I'm the rookie." Oh, hey. That's how that went. Okay. And he was talking about, oh, y'all not dancing this year, that we left them with the Lion King. Like, it was just, it was a bunch of nice teas and goofiness, and that was it. He still had braces. It was nothing. So we go to see The Notebook, and they go to see something that I used to think was Transformers, but it was something along those lines. I don't know. Maybe iRobot. I don't know. Anyway, about 10-20 minutes into our movie, I go to the bathroom because I am now in a full-blown like argument with my then boyfriend, who is breaking up with me because he is swearing that I'm at the movies with a dude. Obviously, I am not, but he was very insecure, and it was just an ongoing thing with us. So, um, we broke up that day, and I was devastated because what? I got dumped. Anyway, walk out the bathroom, and Superman is sitting there on the bench, and he goes, "No one should ever make you cry like that." Okay, thank you. And you're like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm young, but like, no man should ever make you feel like that. He had braces. So I'm like, again, thank you. And I go on about my business and I go back to the movie. And I'm in the movie doing all of this, of course, on my little aim, my little sidekick. But by the end of the movie, I'm just kind of over it. So we're walking out the theater and they're leaning on the car like they're in Boys in the Hood. So we're walking across the street and his cousin comes up to me, which is the one with the acne problem. And he goes, "Hey, my cousin trying to holler at you." And I was like, "Well, why is your cousin not over here?" So he calls him over. And yes, we exchanged numbers. And yes, it probably was because, not even probably, it was because I was trying to make my now ex jealous. It is what it is. I was 24, whatever. So his first text to me was, "Hey, this is real name, the tall guy." So if you've ever seen me put TG on something or like heard about that nickname, that's where that came from. So anyway, fast forward, 2 months go by and I have not gone out with him. I haven't really said too much to him outside of like AIM and T-mail. So I was just being an asshole. Well, realizing that my relationship is now over for real. My dad is like, "Well, why not just go and like hang out?" He's like, "You don't have to like do anything." He's like, "But just hang out. Have like some male companionship. Not like that, but just someone to hang out with and have fun that enjoys doing like goofy shit like me." Right? So we decide that we're gonna go to the movies at Festival Bay, which is now changed names probably like 20 times. But we go to those movies, and I'll never forget this day because this is when I felt the shift. But it was a man and his son, and the son ran up to me and was like, "Oh my God, you're a magic dancer!" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am." That never happens, y'all. People don't know the magic dancers here. Like, no, for real, people don't know the magic dancers at all. So I was like taken aback, and he asked if he could take a picture. He pulls out a real camera and he takes a picture. After that day, there was a shift. I started getting invited to promos, to fashion shows, to um, theme parks, like, team events. I was everywhere. And I had stated a few times that I was thinking about going back to dance, and he was against it. So I did a brand ambassador tour with Cherry Vanilla Dr. Pepper, came back, and I said, "I've made up my mind. Like, I'm doing this." Um, and was he being supportive of things that I was doing? Yes. He was at the fashion shows that I did with Gaucher. Yes, that Gaucher. Hey, girl. He was coming to
The girls that don't know Gaucher, okay? Shout out to Gaucher. Gaucher, if y'all don't know, Gaucher was that girl that appeared on Real Housewives of Atlanta when we found out that she was fucking on Roger Bob. Okay, are you fucking Roger Bob? I'm fucking Roger Bob. That Roger Bob. Okay, so she. That's funny.
my parties. I mean, he was around. So I'm not going to say like he wasn't doing anything. He was. But I wanted my career. I went back. The team took me back, knowing what our history was. I danced that year. The next year, I said I wanted to go to Miami. I said I wanted to dance for the Heat. That was my dream team, either there or the Dallas Cowboys. And both of those he was completely against, and I had no idea why. He would offer like our suggestions for other teams, but never those two. Just completely against anything in Texas and Miami. Now you'll know why. I audition for the team. I make it. Yay me. And after a couple weeks, there's a couple girls that are just treating me weird, and I didn't know why. Well, I ended up finding out that he had cheated on me with one of my teammates who used to live in Texas, but now was coming to the heat, and he had been trying to get both of us to not say anything. Anyway, broke up with him.
Child, it better not have been Keisha. Okay. The girls that know, y'all remember Keisha, okay, from Basketball Wives. I remember she had that country southern accent. She was just like, Tammy, I never, she was like, Tammy has no sense of class at all. So it better not be that bitch Keisha. I'm playing, y'all. It wasn't Keisha. It couldn't have been. It couldn't have been. Because Royce wouldn't have been cool with her like that and she came on the shop.
And was trying to live my best life, y'all. Really was, right? And I ended up getting in an argument with one of my best friends on the team that you all know as Super Black Girl, Tracy. Got in an argument with her, so I was suspended for 2 weeks. So I went to Mexico.
I did not know that. If you guys don't know, Tracy, Super Black Girl, y'all, this has a whole lot of history in it, by the way, because by the way, this is Gaucher, okay? Y'all remember Gaucher? It's Gaucher, right? And Super Black Girl, you guys, she used to be Miss Diana's rival, okay? When Super Black Girl came on the show, Diana didn't know what to do because that was one of the best teams that was on the show, okay? She used to know how to dance just like Diana used to, and she was really one of the it girls on Bring It, okay? Know y'all history. I used to love when her team used to come on the show, and at one point, I do believe she ended up getting her own show, 2 on Lifetime, if I'm not mistaken. Just to give y'all a history.
With my DJ friend. And we had time of our life, whatever, came back and my phone is blowing up. My little sidekick. And it's him. And I'm asking for advice from my DJ friend, and he's like, hey, just go and talk to him. Just see what he got to say. Just hear him out. Like, maybe he really is sorry. Okay. I go to the hotel, and at first he wasn't in there because he was at like team meetings. But then he comes in, and we're in there and we're talking, and he's pleading his case and asking for forgiveness, talking about how much he loves me and that he'll never do it again, that I'm the one for him, I'm perfect this, perfect that, all these things, y'all. And I said I would think about it. I said, I'll talk to you later. So I walked to the room, or I walked to the door, and he pulls me back with my arm, and he's like, well, can I at least have a hug? Sure.
A hug turned into y'all fucking. This is my first time watching this, so I'm guesstimating.
A hug turned into kissing and touching and our child being conceived. I did not know I was pregnant until about a little over a month later when I was in practice, and one of the dancers who, funny story, ended up marrying the head coach of, that's not important, sorry. So after practice, I go to Walgreens and I buy a pregnancy test, and I take it home, take the test, call my brothers and girlfriend, wait for the results. And when I see them, I start bawling. I literally lost it. I saw my entire career just disappear. And I was devastated. I called my mom in the same state of mind. She's losing it. She's freaking out until I finally tell her, like, I'm pregnant. She goes, oh, I thought you killed somebody. That's how hard I was crying. She asked me if I told him.
It's either that or she think that you crazy as shit, Roy.
I've been texting him. I've been texting his cousin. I've been texting his best friend, and nobody was responding. And I said, Mom, I cannot be a mother. And I said, please help me. Like, I cannot be a mom. I'm not ready to be a mother. And she was like, well, you're going to have to tell your dad. So for 2 days, I waited for a response. And when I finally got one, the response was, I was asleep. I responded, for 2 days, you just played a game in Milwaukee last night. And then he responded, I thought you were on birth control. Hey, y'all.
This is a little bit better than who the fuck did I marry? But Who the Fuck Did I Marry had a lot of characters. This doesn't have a lot of characters. So, you know, she's still a close first.
Y'all, it's Royce. And this is my story about how my life changed beginning July 31st, 2004 to now, all because I had a baby by Superman, part 2. We left off with, I thought you were on birth control. I like for it to be noted that I had not been on birth control our entire relationship. He was very aware, and also as to why he was not against it. Also, I'd like for it to be noted that there was no attempt to pull out that particular day, whereas in the past, he would move so fast that he would run into the dresser drawers. So let's continue. About a week went on, and there was a little bit of communication, and the communication was regarding terminating the pregnancy. I was told that he would help me. I just needed to get to Orlando, and we would do it there. I said, okay, not a problem. Just know it has to be a quick turnaround because I have to get back to work and I can't let my parents know. Please understand, I had no idea how abortions worked at all. So I'm thinking that I could just get up and turn around. Anyway, communication ceased again. Now I'm having to talk to my parents. I talked to my mom again. She was adamant about me telling my dad. So I told my dad, and my dad was like, huh. And I'm like, huh, what? He goes, all right. And I said, well, I don't want you to worry because I'm not going to keep the baby. I'm going to terminate the pregnancy and then I'm going to finish the season out. I'm going to go to Vegas. I'm going to fulfill this contract that I got with Treasure Island. Like I had all these plans and I was going to pursue my career. And he was like, no. It's like, you're going to have to put that on hold. And I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, you were woman enough to lay down. You're going to be woman enough to keep this baby. Now, back then, it wasn't a decision that was just easily made where you could just go to a clinic. Okay. It was also extremely expensive, especially for someone who was dancing on basketball courts in booty shorts and a half top. So my mom did not give me the money and I was now stuck. And I was asking friends, I was trying to just figure out anything I could do. It even got to the point where I was drinking magnesium citrate or I was trying to use a hanger. It was bad. It was bad. But when I went to the doctor and I heard the heartbeat, that is when things were put into a bigger perspective for me. I don't know what it is, but when you hear that heartbeat, it changes you. And I knew then that I was going to be a mom. And so now it's time to tell Superman that he is having a baby. And as you can imagine, that message was not received well. And I was met with a bunch of, oh, you're tarnishing my image. You're ruining my career. I'm a Christian. What I look like having a baby. And I'm trying to put the cross on the NBA logo. How could you do this to me? You're a gold digger. Oh, yeah, I was hit with everything, y'all. Like I didn't have a career. But because none of those changed my mind, he then hits me with, and I have a girlfriend. Okay. I've always had a girlfriend. Oh, wow. Okay. So now I'm realizing, y'all, that not only is this person a completely different person than I thought he was, but I've realized that he is a master manipulator and he will do any and everything to get exactly what he wants. I didn't fall for it. And because I didn't fall for it, I was then met with hell on earth. When I was about 4 or 5 months pregnant, I was asked to attend a meeting at a restaurant right around the corner from my townhome. I agreed to it, and when I got there, one of the first things said to me was, "You don't look pregnant." I said, "Thank you." They said, "No, because you have your belly ring in still." Mind you, I had already had this conversation before about wearing a belly ring while I was pregnant. I just liked it. But then they said that it just looks like you're poking your stomach out. Why am I here? Like, what the fuck y'all got going on? What do you want? Great. We sit down, and in this meeting is his manager, his cousin, himself. I am then offered money.
Child, they told her, girl, you just got to get a colonic. You're bloated. You say you're constipated.
I'm asking what the money is for. I'm thinking that maybe it's to help me with my pregnancy. No, I was asked to move away and say that this baby was not his twice. I declined. They got angry. I was then approached by the team office and they wanted me to come in and have a sit down conversation and do a prenatal paternity test. My doctor said absolutely not. Therefore, I said no, it was dangerous. And once the baby came, I was not opposed to doing so. For the next couple months, I got ready for a baby shower. I got ready with my baby registry. And every time I did anything, I was met with false accusations. I was threatened with the baby registry. I was told to take his name off of there. And I did. For the baby shower invitations, I was told to take the name off of there. So I did. But I still was getting threatened. I was still receiving anonymous messages on MySpace and Twitter. And I didn't know what to do. Around early November, I started having really bad complications with my pregnancy and I was put on bed rest. I didn't listen, but I was put on bed rest. As hard as it was to sit still, it was something that I knew I needed to do because I could tell something was wrong. On November 16th, I had a doctor's appointment and my doctor was like, you need to go to the hospital and they need to put you on a monitor. Stop letting them tell you that you're dehydrated. I said, okay, cool. We go to the hospital. They still don't put me on the monitor and I'm just over it and I go home. Around 3:33 that next morning, November 16th, I woke up to excruciating pain. I threw something down the stairs. My brother came up who had been staying with me, told him I need to go to the hospital. We go to the hospital. They finally put me on a monitor and they're like, oh my gosh, you're having contractions for real. No shit. They say that they're going to admit me. I said, until how long? They said, until you have this baby. Oh, cool. Tell my mom everything. This is also during Classic Weekend. 54 and a half hours, I was in labor and my child was delivered via C-section. They knew the day that I went into the hospital, they knew the complications I was having. They knew that the child's heart rate had been dropping and not one person cared. Not one person responded to that at all. But when they found out that the baby was born, an immediate message came through to my mother asking for a picture. I said, send the picture. She sent the picture and the response was, oh, that's my grandbaby. To me, all babies look alike when they're born, so whatever, but hey, go off. I was thinking that maybe that was going to be a start to something better, but it was actually the gateway to hell. For the next 3 days, I stayed in the hospital, and not one time did I receive a visit from him or anyone in his family, but his girlfriend actually did stop by unannounced and uninvited with a bag of bibs talking about we needed to speak. I said, no, we don't. Asked her.
Bitch, what? Oh my God. Not a bag of bibs. Bitch, you should have left that doctor freaking visitor room with the bib in your mouth and you knocked out. Like, who does that? That's so tacky.
Asked her to leave and she left. It was cool. Well, a few days later, I was discharged from the hospital the day before Thanksgiving, actually. And on Thanksgiving, we go to my cousin's every single year who stayed right around the corner from him. He kept saying that he was going to come by, that he was around the corner, that he was about to ring the doorbell. All these things, kept saying that he was coming by. Y'all, he never showed up. We then ended up taking a paternity test at a neutral location, even though the team had asked me to take it at their offices. And I said, hell no, because I don't trust them. We took it at a neutral location. The results came back on Christmas Eve. He acted like he was excited, wanted to see the baby the next day, Christmas. I said, cool. Christmas comes. He's like, who all over there? And he wanted to see him by himself. I said, absolutely not. I'm not telling my family to leave. They're my support system. So they stayed. He comes in. He's with his cousin. His cousin is taking all these pictures. I'm not taking pictures. His cousin's taking pictures. Next thing we know, a few days later, these pictures that his cousin has taken, one in particular where he's laying on the sofa and Our Child Is on His Shoulder has now gone, like, I guess back then, viral. And everybody now knows that Superman has a baby. Hey, y'all. It's Roy.
Okay, if you guys want to see me react to the rest of this video, make sure you guys check out a separate video that I will be posting. A part of this ending of me reacting to it, to the complete end of the whole story time. Now, who the fuck did I get knocked up by? I believe Royce 100%. It's sad she had to go through all of this for people to sort of believe her. This isn't the first time she's told some of this stuff. Some of these details are a little bit new to me, but some of them I already have heard of before because she's have said it in other interviews before. So it's not like she just woke up one day and decided to make shit up out of her ass. Okay? Let me know what you guys think down below about some of these topics. And we're out, babies.
Ain't no personal thing. All that